Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 6th of December 2022. Today we're going to focus on the buy and sell zone algo-trader, because I've been receiving loads of emails about how to use it and what a good setup is and what not. So I'm just going to show you how my charts are set up, because this is actually a new change myself. And then we'll walk through exactly how I'm using the software. So what I do is I have a 3-chart configuration. Okay, so you can hear the roosters pretty active in the garden. And so what I have is I have the time frames that I am happy to trade on. And I recently started trading the hourly chart. Okay, and so I have the far right, I have the hourly chart, the middle, the 4-hour, and the left I have the daily chart. Okay, and so I have the supply and demand on this chart, on this chart as well, and on this chart. And on this chart, the first chart, I also have the supply and demand trading algo here. Okay, so if we look at the other indicators that I have here, this is rubbish. Okay, here, so we have the supply and demand on this one. We have this one, it doesn't really matter, I don't look at that. We have sync charts. So ideally you should have these two. Okay, you can also have the currency strength or the histogram if you like, but these are the two that are very important. So I have the supply and demand and I have the sync charts. And the sync charts is just syncing the symbol and the zoom, and that's it. Okay, and the reason this is important is because when I drag an item, a symbol from the market watch over to this one, I want all of the charts to be updated like this, but I don't want the time frame to be changed. Okay, and this just speeds up my analysis a lot, because if I just put back the American dollar Swiss franc, because this is going to be our example, and this is what it looks like. So supply and demand and histogram, supply and demand, histogram, supply and demand, sync charts, histogram or currency strength down here if you like, and the buy and sell zones algo-trader. Okay, good. You can change this if you like. You can say, well, I want to look at smaller time frames. Then you could say, okay, let's put this on 30. Let's put this on the 1 hour or the 1 hour, or the 1 hour or the 4 hour. And then this one, let's put on the 4 hour. Okay, so you could change that if you like. But I think, at least for myself, I want to see what's going on the daily chart, because this is going to be the chart or the time frame that is telling me how I'm allowed to trade. Okay, so this is the setup. And then what I'm doing is I am looking at mostly hourly and 4-hour entries with the occasional daily entry. I'm trying to, there's been a huge push from the community for me to talk about shorter term trading. And while shorter term trading has never really been anything that I've been very fond of, because it requires more computer time, I just want to kind of iterate some of the practices that I've been practicing in order to show you how you can also trade in the shorter term time frames. But I don't really go down beyond the 1 hour unless I have a 1 hour entry and I'm looking to refine my entry on, for example, the 30-minute or the 15-minute, which can actually be very, very beneficial. Okay, so first of all, what direction is this chart likely going to move? Well, you can see on the daily chart that we are very, very low. Okay, does that mean that we can't go any lower? It doesn't. But what it means is that we have a trading range here, and we are at the bottom of it. So that means that there's a high likelihood that we are going to continue to wriggle to the other side of this area here. It doesn't mean that we have to, and it doesn't mean that we will. It means that there is a maybe 51% likelihood that we're going to wriggle higher from here than continue to move lower. Okay, so you can take this information from your highest time frame, which is on the left side, and you can go down to the medium one, and you can look for validation of this. Okay, is this true? Are we looking to start to move higher? And so we want to look here, and we want to focus on a few things. We want to see, do we have divergence? Yes, we do indeed. Do we have strong pushes away from these lows? We're starting to see them now. We saw one here. We moved down, to this area. This is a trade we took yesterday down here. We moved up here, and now we are looking to potentially rally higher because we had a rally and now we're accumulating, or maybe have a bit of a pullback and then a continuation higher. So we're starting to see the signs of a continued move higher. Shorter term, this is not going to go on for weeks, but maybe hours and days. And so we want to keep this in mind when we start to look at our entry time frame. And on the hourly chart, what are we seeing? We're seeing kind of the same thing, aren't we? And we had a push down here and a move beyond this previous high. We had a push down here and then a very sharp departure higher, a gradual push down into this area of demand. This is the one we bought at, and then price is moving away. And since price tested this one, we've actually formed this one just here. Okay, and we're also seeing something slightly similar here as well regarding divergence, where we have prices going down, but the underlying strength of these two currencies relative to each other is changing. Okay, and so I can say, okay, that's great. So I think we're probably gonna move higher from here. And so I look at the time frames and I say, well, where do I want to get in? Well, I can see here that we have this area of demand. We created a price imbalance and price rebalanced that. So there's no need for price to come all the way down here because we have already addressed the price inefficiency that we saw in this very strong run higher. We bought here yesterday. We're out of the trade. Now we're looking to get back in. Okay, so price came back here, and now we have another price inefficiency. Where do we have demand within this price inefficiency? Let's go to our buy and sell zones robot. We'll put it on the hourly chart because this is the one that we're interested in. We're going to see if something pops up here, which it probably will, just here. Yes, that's exactly what we are looking at. And so we can see this. Okay, so let's have a look at this little area. So we have a rally, okay, a nice strong rally. Price went up, came down, we went up to this area just here. We went all the way up here, we pulled back, and then we cut away. So this candle was in the range of this one, meaning that these two are related. The low of this candle is here. Okay, so this is the low of the area. These are the two candles in the area of accumulation. This is the departure candle. The buy zone is right there, the edge of this candle which left here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want to buy this. I'm just going to click this on. I'm just going to open the trade, and there it is. And I'm going to move the entry down to around there. Okay, and then I'm done. Okay, I turn the algo-trader off. I move back to the daily time frame. I look here at the symbols, and then I continue my search. So now I just start from a list. I go from the top of the list all the way down to the bottom of the assets that I'm interested in trading. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the daily. What are we doing? Yeah, we're pretty low as well. Does that mean we're not going to go lower? Absolutely not. It just means that we are, if we look here, we have another range. Oops, wrong thing. We're around here. This is the high, this is the low, and where are we? We're at the bottom of it. Okay, so we want to look to buy at the lows, and you can see we have things already begin to happen. You can see we had this area just here. Price came down to it, almost touched it, and then we left. Okay, so we are starting to see signs here. Let's have a look on the daily chart just to have a look at the histogram. I'm thinking we're probably going to start. Yeah, so we reached the bottom here, and now price is doing this ranging. So if we go to the 4 hour, it might show us a little bit of a clearer picture, and certainly on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, if we have a look, here you can see that we're really in the oversold territory. So we're probably going to begin to wriggle higher from here. And so looking at this, we can see that we have prices approaching these lows. Okay, we have a lovely area of supply here. We have another one here. We have the sell zone here. We have another sell zone just here. Okay, we're quite low relative to this move. Our boxing exercise is showing us that Yeah, we're actually at the 60%. So we've given back 60% of the move from here to the highs, which is here. 60%, that's a lot. Okay, so we moved beyond 50. We did that here, we came to 50, we went 60, we went to the 70, and now we're just kind of moving sideways here. And so we can assume that shorter term, we're likely going to wriggle north. And so looking at this here, we want to look for signs that we are keen on moving higher. And I'm going to have to go here, go to the 4-hour chart. So I want to see those strong moves higher. You can see there's an awful lot of respect for this area just down here. You can see it was tested once, and then prices didn't come back to it. Well, we did almost here. Actually, I think we came to it here. And now we are over here, and price is kind of looking to do something. But we seem to have rested on the lows here, this low, and we came almost to it just here. Okay, so we can expect that this will likely wriggle a little bit higher, at least until we rebalance this price inefficiency just here. Okay, so we have a hypothesis that this pair is going to move higher shorter term. Okay, and so now we could say, okay, that's fine. So let's maybe put an entry in at these lows here. So what I'm going to do is, you can see on this time frame that the software would rather sell here because this is the one that's closest to price. But I don't want to do that because of the reasons we just discussed. I think we're more likely going to move higher. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the robot to move beyond this area and this area and focus on this one here. So I'm going to count the candles from here to here, which is just beyond this. I want to move on the other side of this. Excuse me, this is 20, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to show you a setting called, where are we? Here, start candle 20. I want to start the analysis from 20 candles. And then it'll focus on this one here. Or not. Okay, there it is. But I can see it's a little bit wide, that stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to change the risk reward. I'm going to put it 1.1. So we're 10% greater than the size of that, maybe a little bit bigger. I'm going to press OK and I'm going to click on it to allow it to open that trade. Right there. Okay, now I am going to take a closer look at this. And you can see that this is the area where price left from the first time. Prices have already been back to this area several times, so I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to move it down to this area here, because this is where price left from when it formed this area here. So I'm going to leave it like that, keeping in mind that this trade is lower probability because the age of this area is much older and because it's already been tested one time. Okay, but I want to make sure that I'm going to leave it like that. We'll see if prices do manage to have another stab down here and then a wriggle north from here. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next one. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. And so now you can see that we're really high. If we go here and have a look on the daily chart just to see what this looks like. There's a lot of rejection up here. Maybe we should see why. We are reacting at this little area of supply right there. Zoom in. Yeah, this is where prices are slowing down a little bit. Okay, we're very, very high. This is the daily. And so I'm thinking that there's a high likelihood that we are going to move away from here. So go back to the 4-hour chart. We want to try and identify areas that we would expect price to react at and move away from. If we have anything on the hourly, we do. We have this on the hourly. So if we go to the algo-trader, we put it on the hourly chart. We zoom in. we have a look at this price structure. See again quite clearly that we have, let me change this to 2 times the size. Okay, so we have prices leaving this area here. This is the area that was formed. You can see the box just here. Had another one below. Price went to the child, went through the child to the parent, and this is where prices came from. So I'm thinking if prices manage to rally back up to here, there's a high likelihood that this is going to turn around. Also considering the fact that, let's have a look on the 4-hour chart, that we are actually beginning to see prices sell off. We had these kind of lows here. Okay, prices tested those, and then we finally managed to trade below those. And so this one here is interesting to us. So I'm going to start bar. We're going to start at 1. We're going to let it trade this area just here. I'm going to click that on. And then the target, I mean, where would the target go? You can see the target, we have a buy zone right here. So we're going to put it somewhere around like that. Okay, so we'll leave that one on there. Also keep in mind that prices have already been up here, as you can see. So maybe we could even go to the 30-minute or even the 50-minute just to have a closer look at this particular price structure. Prices have been back to this area quite a few times, but then we have this fresh area of supply that was introduced, sell zones established right here. So I think we'll leave it at this for the time being. This here could give us troubles to move beyond, so we'll put this right there for the time being. Okay, so back to the daily, and we continue our analysis. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, again, we are kind of stuck in a range, as you can see. The range is here. We're getting pretty low. There's something in here that is providing support for this. So maybe we could see some shorter term entries to buy this asset. So if we go to the 4-hour, see if we can see similar patterns occurring. We're starting to see a big jump higher here. Go to the hourly, which is probably a little bit clearer. Yes, you can see pretty clearly just down here we have a very strong departure away. And so I'm going to go from here, I'm going to put it on the hourly chart. This is that area. It's going to want to trade this one first, so we'll have to tell it to move beyond that. So measuring the number of hours, so we go at least 15. So the start bars are going to be 15. Start bar, 15. This is a very tiny area, so we want to go many times bigger than that. So if we change the risk reward to maybe 6, we have 6 times the size of that, then I think that should give us ample protection. Yes, I like that. I'm going to click it on. Anticipation the price is going to poke down here and then move to the other side of this range, which is up here. Okay, I'm done. It's going to take this. I'm going to hit reset and then OK, move this back to the daily. And I'm going to move on to the next one and see how we do. But this is essentially what I'm doing. It's very straightforward. It's very methodical. I mean, I'm almost doing it intuitively. I'm just going from one chart to the other. It's very, very quick now. And if with a bit of practice, it will be quick for you as well. So I just go like this. I'll show you how I'm doing it. See, I feel more confident selling this than buying it because it's moving, it's just moving down, straight down. And so looking to sell would be great, but there's nothing I like now, so I'm going to go to the next one. Again, nothing there of interest to us. And so on and so forth. I shan't go on forever, but I just wanted to show you very quickly how this tool is being used. It's really, really powerful. It really simplifies things for us. And so try and try and create a nice method for yourself. This is how I'm doing it. You don't have to by any means do the exact same as me, but you can use what I am doing as inspiration to try and build up your own method that you can use that resonates with you in order to use my tools in your way. Okay, so give it a shot. And if you have any insights, please let me know, because I'd be absolutely thrilled to hear from you. Thanks for watching.